G'day guys, Cam Wild Touring. Our big lap is coming up really quick. We're leaving early next year and there's still heaps that needs doing to the car, the van, the house, working out schooling, all the rest of it. Heaps of stuff left to do. In terms of the vehicle, I'd love to tell you that we've finalized the entire build with the wrap up of the build series that we showed on YouTube. But unfortunately, the reality is that being a new model car, not everything was available at the time, and there's quite a few things that I was still waiting on. Also, having enough money to finish the build was another thing that was lacking. So since I've been back from the Pilbara trip, which we would have seen the series on YouTube, I've had the car in at Petters and AGD Auto up on the hoist, getting him to have a look at a couple of things that I think need improving on the car, which is braking performance and fuel range. Both of these have been quite limiting. Now I will be doing a proper review of the 300 series, but I want to wait till I've had the car for a year or very close to. I've only had the car for about 6 months now, so I don't feel I've given it enough time to do a review on it. I have already done 25,000 Ks already though, so I'm racking them up. But when I do my proper video review of the car, I'll talk about all the things that you want to know, like oil burning, dusting, DPF burns, car throwing codes, squeaky brakes, all that kind of stuff that I'm reading on 300 series forums, and also that people are asking me questions about and whatnot in the comments. But spoiler alert, 25,000 Ks, and overall we are really happy with this vehicle and we've had no major issues at all. But the brake performance and fuel range are definitely two things I feel there could be some improvement on. That's not to say that it's a shortfall of the vehicle itself, it's a symptom of what I've done to the vehicle. When you start adding bigger wheels, more weight, carrying heavier loads, towing heavy caravans, all those kind of things, handling, braking, and fuel economy are going to suffer. Now the handling we've improved with the GVM upgrade, we're legal, we're safe, all the rest of it. We've talked about it before. There can definitely be some improvements in the braking performance, which we'll have a look at in a sec. And in terms of fuel economy, short of removing a lot of weight, there's not a hell of a lot you can do without tuning and whatnot that I don't really want to go down the path of. So the solution for me was to look at long range tanks. So I took the car to AGD Auto in Wangara to see Aaron. It needed a 20,000 service anyway, so he did that. He did a pre-trip inspection, and that was because I've got the Simpson Desert trip coming up really soon. And he also fit a long range tank for us. Actually, shout out to Tony from TJM Wangara for helping us with the supply of that tank. He was an absolute champion. Anyway, the tank we chose is an Outback Accessories sub-tank replacement. So we removed the 30-litre factory tank, and in its spot, we replace it with this 84-litre long-range tank. That gives me an extra 54 litres of fuel capacity, which takes it from 110 litres total to 164 litres total. The factory 110 litres was only getting me around 500 Ks towing the caravan. With this new sub-tank replacement, I should be getting at least sort of 700 Ks towing. It's basically like carrying 2 extra jerry cans of fuel. Now there are options for bigger long-range tanks, but most of them involve relocating a spare wheel from underneath the car to the back of the vehicle with one of those swing-away carriers. If I wasn't towing a van, I'd probably look at doing that, but I'm not really keen on adding that much weight, especially behind the rear axle, when I'm going to be towing a van and I've got all that tow ball weight to contend with as well. The more weight you add, obviously you're going to affect the handling and the stopping. And that's been my other issue with the car. The brakes on this GX model are slightly smaller than other Model 300s. And coming from the D-Max, which had a Petters brake upgrade with the drum to disc conversion, the 300 definitely does not pull up as well. Actually, without even saying anything to Harry Fisher from Fire to Fork, he had a drive of my car on a trip series that we were doing together, and he noticed straight away that the brakes weren't too flash on this car.
In the proper Soccer Mum car?
Yeah, the only thing for towing, just flick that across to Sport, so just flick it once.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Harry and I are going to swap cars. He wants to tow the caravan with the 300, just to see how it goes.
First impressions towing the van with a 300 series. It is a lot more powerful. The 10 speed combined with the twin turbo, big difference. There's like no lag in it. It revs up really nicely straight off the mark. And then yeah, just because like that short sharp gear ratio is hugely different. Yeah, no, this is impressive. I really like this. It's a good tow vehicle. This is not just a little bit better than a 200 series, this is a lot better than a 200 series. I mean, I've heard that from multiple people, but I really feel it in this. Very impressive car. I've driven a lot of 200s, and this is a good step up. I think I'd still buy the GR Sport though. fancy boy. Something I will say, I actually think the brakes are better on my Prado than this. It doesn't pull up as well as I was hoping. Interesting. It's not bad, but like you need a lot more pedal pressure, and it doesn't give me that same security. And I don't know if it's just because I've got the brake upgrade on my car, but yeah, the 300 doesn't pull up as well, which is, yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. You know what I mean? Like, as in, I don't know if it's just the settings and the van and stuff like that, but yeah, it doesn't feel as good as topping as my car. Mate, it tows so well.
Yeah.
Like, it's, as I said, like the bottom end, the usable power is just completely different. Like, you really get access to that power straight off, and the 10-speed is a work of art.
Yeah.
Like, really impressed as a tow vehicle. Yeah, like, they're worth the money.
Yeah. I echo what you said on the radio as well. Did feel like the brakes pulled up much better on yours. So I took the car to Petters Cannington, and they got to work ripping off the factory discs and pads and replacing them with a set of Geomet coated slotted brake rotors and their own brand of high performance Kevlar ceramic brake pads. The idea of this is that they'll handle the heat heaps better, resulting in less brake fade, which is especially relevant when you're towing, carrying heavy loads, or frequently hitting the brakes hard. I've had this set up for a couple of weeks now. I haven't towed the van with it yet, but day-to-day commuting, traffic, full driving, just normal sort of driving without anything on the back, it is pulling up significantly better. There are other options for brake kits from Petters. I was really keen on, they do like a big brake upgrade where they put larger rotors on the front and 6-pot calipers, and I imagine that would make a huge difference. The only reason I didn't go down that road was I'd have to change from 17-inch rims to 18-inch rims, which I didn't really want to do. But depending on your needs and your budget, yeah, there's quite a few options available. And then a couple of little things I've recently done that didn't involve putting the car on a hoist is I finally got around to fitting a fire extinguisher. So it's mounted down here underneath the passenger seat on this little K-on bracket. It's attached with a couple of quick fists. So it's really easy to get from the driver's seat or the passenger seat if I ever need to fight a vehicle fire or whip around the back of the car and extinguish a fire in the back of the car or wherever. So this is Fire Striker. This is new to me. I'd only recently started seeing these online, but they're really clever. They are more expensive than a traditional fire extinguisher, but they're light, they're small. I can mount them with those little quick fists off my cargo barrier, my drawer system, anywhere, but I quite like that bracket under the passenger seat. But the beauty of these is they last for 6 years. They're totally maintenance free. They provide 100 seconds of firefighting retardant, which is significantly more than a small fire extinguisher. I think they're normally like 10 or 12 seconds or something from the small fire extinguishers, so this is a hell of a lot more. They're a good thing. So that was from K-on. The bracket there was from K-on as well. And the final thing I've got, I'll show you, it's at the back of the car. I've got this really neat little Starlink port here. So this is from K-on as well. They make different ones to fit different roof racks. I've obviously got the ARB base rack one, but my Starlink dish will fit straight into this. And I didn't think I was going to have room for something like this with all the solar panels and whatnot up top, but because of the way that it mounts, I could have mounted it anywhere off the side of the rack. I've gone with the back there just because it's nice and neat. It's not going to get caught by trees and stuff through thick bush. But yeah, this is really clever. Starlink is definitely something that we want to take on our lap. It's definitely something that I like to take on remote, longer trips. And having this mount means I don't have to take that massive stand, the base that the Starlink comes with. I can just plug it straight in here. I don't have to carry as much crap. So I really like that. Nice bit of kit. Everything K-on does is like that, just clever. And that's about it. Just a few bits and pieces that needed finishing up on the car to make sure we're ready for the big lap. We're still on track for leaving early next year. Really looking forward to it. Still got to work out homeschooling and selling our house and all the other stuff that are involved with that. Probably do another video where we chat about all those kinds of things. I just wanted this video to be about the car and the last few bits and pieces we needed to do to get the car ready for the lap. Hope you got something out of that. Cheers guys, I'll see you in the next one.